Do you hear that?
Hear what?
The silence. It's nice.
This is a massive project. We're in 3 films in this version of The Strangers. When I talked to Rennie yesterday, he said that the first thing he read was the 278-page script. Was it always conceptualized as a 3-part trilogy, or was there any chance that it was possibly going to be broken up into a miniseries or anything like that?
No, it was always conceived as let's do one big three movies, but eventually maybe you could watch it as a 4.5-hour experience, but to do them as 3 movies that could stand on their own and will stand on their own. But yes, that the first one, it's not like in some kind of movies where the next movie is 3 years later, what's happening? This is first movie ends, next day, here we go, movie 2, what's going on? How are we going to get out of this? So it was always conceived of as taking this story, but to learn a little bit more about the characters, and not just the characters you see without masks, but the characters you see with masks.
Now, one thing I love about The Strangers concept is that it's a random act of violence, and I think that's always the creepiest thing. What can you tell me about your experience with the original Strangers, and what stood out to you the most about that film?
I think it's the putting yourself in those people's shoes. Like, oh my God, this could happen to me, even if it's not in this particular location. In our case, it's in a small town in Oregon. But you're like, I don't know what's happening. Why is this happening to me? And how do I get out of this situation? And that's the scariest part of it all, because you don't know what they're doing, why they're doing what they're doing. So I don't know how to appease them and get out of it. And in this case, you're going to have 3 movies to enjoy that.
Now, how do you make a film like The Strangers by remaking such a classic film, but also putting your own spin on it?
I think you take that concept of what is this couple, and what new couple can we start with in this movie, and then also say, go a little deeper. We didn't know a lot about that couple, deep into what that couple was going through in the first movie and who they were. You're going to learn about this couple in these movies, and then also you're going to learn a little bit more about who the strangers are. So there's a lot of times in horror movies, you're like, there's a bad guy or bad guys or bad girls, but you don't know why they got to where they are. And I think by the time you watch all 3 movies, you'll appreciate, and you'll go, oh, I get why they did what they did.
Incredible. Now, speaking of that, what can you tease about what we learned about The Strangers in this film or in the other 2 films?
I can't give away too much, but I think you'll have a satisfying journey to go, this, why is they're knocking on the door? Is Tamara here? Why are they saying that? And all that, those kind of things. But it's a, while you may not agree with why they're going through what they do, you go, at least I get why they did what they did. Yeah.
Incredible. Now, last question I have for you, switching gears for a second. I know you worked on one of his favorite projects, King of the Hill. Sure. Now, are you involved with the continuation of the King of the Hill?
No, luckily too busy with other projects, doing TV show The Freak Brothers with Woody Harrelson and John Goodman and Pete Davidson and Tiffany Haddish, that animated show. I know friends with Greg Daniels. I know they're rebooting that. I just saw them a couple weeks ago, but I'm anxious to see how they pick it up. So many years later, but it was a great series back then. I'm sure the new one will be great too.
Well, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Is Tamara here?
No.
I think you have the wrong home.